welcome back to our channel. Ruth here, and in today's video I'm excited to share with you how to prepare for 2022. These are the top 5 things you must do in preparing for this coming year. Let's get started. First, in order to prepare for 2022, you must have the right mindset. Now, it's so important that we remove all negativity and focus on what you want to see. Now, I'm not sure how 2021 treated you. Perhaps you tried something and it didn't really work out well, but it's so important that you begin to see or learn to see failure as part of your journey to success. Or it could be that you try to do something and a family member or a well-intended friend came and said something bad or pulled you down. That's okay. It's time for you to actually put that aside, let it go. Or perhaps it could be something that you personally did and you go, oh my goodness, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. And you feel totally guilty about it. And you're so afraid to get started again. Now, if that's the case, it's time for you to really begin to think and say, hey, that's okay. The thing is, no one is perfect. In fact, most millionaires and billionaires all went through failures. Did you know that 90% of businesses that started the first time fail? Like 90% of them fail. But you know what? If everyone had given up, then we won't have successful businesses out there today, right? So it's so important that you begin to just lay aside every weight and just focus on the new year and say, you know what? I'm going to actually believe that I can do this in 2022. So important. And if it's something that someone has said or something that you have done personally, it's time to forgive yourself and let that go. Oprah Winfrey puts it this way. She says, unforgiveness, whether it's not forgiving, in the context, she actually said unforgiveness, if you don't forgive someone else, is almost like you're drinking poison every day, hoping that the other person will die, right? So it's actually not going to be beneficial towards yourself. But, sometimes I think it's, in a way, it might be easier for us to forgive someone else, but it's hard to forgive ourselves. So I really encourage you, to just let that go and have a fresh start. So that's the first one, mindset. Your mindset has to be in the right place if you want to prepare and be successful for 2022. Number 2, you must set goals. So it's so important that, you have your goals right. If, for example, you want to be healthier, instead of saying, I want to be healthier and I'm going to take steps to be healthier, think about what are some of the steps that you can actually take. Well, how many kilograms you want to actually lose? How is your eating habit going to be? If you want to increase your income and reduce your debt, well, what are you going to be spending on? So, for example, if you work in an office and you tend to spend $5 every day on coffee and maybe about $10 on a sandwich or a meal outside, maybe it's time for you to think, well, instead of that, maybe I'll make my own coffee. I'll bring my own 3-in-1 coffee. I'll save $5 a day. And instead of eating lunch outside, I'll pack my own lunch, make my own sandwich. And you know what? If you save, let's say, even $10 a day, that's $50 a week, Mondays to Fridays at work. And that's $200 a month. And that's, if you actually look at it, it's about $2,000 a year. And you can use that to pay off your debt, or you can actually save that money to perhaps take your family on a 5-day vacation or holiday, right? So it's time for you to think about, well, what do I want to see in 2022? How can I actually set goals and make sure it's actually specific goals? In another video, I talked about how to set SMART goals, and you can actually check that out. But so important that you set specific goals, effective goals for 2022 if you want 2022 to be different than all the other years you have lived. If you want 2022 to count, set effective goals. Number 3, make a vision board. This is my favorite topic. The guru for vision board is actually Terry Savelle Foy. In my view, I think she's the hero. She's my hero when it comes to vision board. And some of you have heard of my story in some of the other videos. A couple of years ago, I was a frustrated lawyer. I was doing everything I love. I mean, I was a fitness trainer. I was teaching at the gym. I was working in a law firm. I was a music teacher. I was producing music, writing music. I was doing all these things that I love, but I was completely frustrated until I actually read the book by Terry Savelle Foy called Dream It, Pin It, Live It. And in this book, she talks about vision board and setting goals. And that book completely changed my life because I applied it. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make myself a vision board. Don't know if this is going to work. Didn't tell anyone about it. My husband saw it and me, and that's it. And I thought, well, if it doesn't work, that's okay. I haven't shared it with anyone, so I'm not going to be embarrassed, right? But the amazing thing was in that same year, I actually achieved about 70% of the goals on my list. And today, I'm actually living the dream. That same year, I became a partner in a law firm, and then I went on to own a couple of different businesses. And it's amazing. Like, I got to pay off my student loan. Financially, we became a lot more stable, and there was this one year where I actually traveled 7 countries. And the amazing thing was I haven't actually reviewed my vision board for a while at the time, but when I came home from the trip, I thought, my goodness, the same year I actually went to the US and I went to Japan, and it was like, and when I look at the pictures on my vision board, I thought, my goodness, that's pretty much exactly where I went, so again, I would say there's no special power or magic in vision board, but I believe that vision board actually helps you to keep your eyes on your goal, and it helps you to stay focused. So if you do not already have a vision board, it's time for you to make a vision board. I've actually made different videos in regard to how to make a vision board, why it's important, so you can actually check it out. But there are electronic vision boards. There are also physical hard copy vision boards that you can make. So have fun making them. So before you enter 2022, or if you're already in 2022, it's not too late. It's time for you to actually make a vision board. Okay. Number 4, determine who you should tell your dreams to and who you will not share with. Now, this is so important because one thing I felt is that one thing I can see is that a lot of people make New Year's resolution. They tell all their family and friends, they post it on Facebook, and that's okay. But the thing is, sometimes you don't need that unnecessary pressure, and sometimes I think it's that feeling of like, oh, what if I don't attend my goals? I'm going to get embarrassed. You don't really need that. The thing is, if it's your personal goal, it's between you and yourself. You can share it with your family. And if you do share it with someone, make sure it's someone whom you can trust. Because sometimes if you share it with the wrong people, guess what? They're going to start to pull you down. Some people could be jealous of your dreams and they don't want you to live your dreams. So they say, oh, it's such a terrible idea, Those are not true friends, trust me. Some of them are real friends and family, but perhaps they've tried something similar before and they failed. And because of, out of concern or fear, they speak fear into your life. And the thing is that could negatively affect you. So it's so important that you actually tell or share with the right person who can actually encourage you, who are successful in that area. Ed Milet puts it this way. He said that if you want to get advice from someone, make sure that they are actually successful in that area, right? And that makes a lot of sense. For example, if you want to get marriage advice, get it from someone who's been married for, say, 50 years, who is successful in their marriage. I remember I used to have friends who come to me and they've been divorced a couple of times, trying to give me relationship advice. And I'm thinking, oh, my relationship is working just fine, So it's important that you actually get the right advice from the right people. If it's a business person trying to give you business advice. And I remember many years ago, this man, he's a very, very successful businessman. He's got businesses here in Australia and also in the US, very successful man. And he walked into our home and he said, when you consider doing a business, you can either sell really cheap products or services, but you have to have a high volume, or you can sell a high ticketed item or service and charge a little bit more, but you provide a very, very good quality service. And I took that on board, and that actually helped, really helped us in our businesses in the years after that. So really, really important as to who you share your dreams with and who you don't share it with, and take advice from the right person, not the wrong person. And finally, number 5, make a realistic plan. Make sure you set smart goals. It's so important that if you want to attain your dreams by the 31st of December, you ask yourself and say, well, on the 31st of December 2022, what do I want to see myself achieve? Work backwards. Personally, I actually plan. I actually go, well, the first quarter, I'm going to focus on this project, and the next quarter, and then I plan it down to the month, the weeks, and I even schedule it into my weekly calendar and say, on a Tuesday night between the hours of 6 and 8, I'm going to focus on this. On a Thursday night, between the hours of, 5 to 7, I'm going to focus on that. And that's, and I try my best to keep my promise to myself, because I know that that's going to be the most important task that I'm doing today that's going to leave a legacy behind for the generations to come. So there's this saying that goes like this. It says, a lot of people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. And that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of us, including myself, when I first started to become a business owner, I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this first year, I sort of attained my goals, but I was feeling really impatient. But over the years, when I look back, I go, you know what? It's actually consistency that counts, not intensity, because it's the 2 hours here and the 2 hours there that I put into that particular goal that is actually making a difference right now, in where I am currently. So make sure you make a realistic plan. Make sure you set smart goals. And I actually made a couple of different videos on how to set smart goals, what smart goals actually represent. You can actually check them out. But I hope that these 5 things are helpful, and I'm really excited for you in 2022. I really hope that 2022 is going to be a year of difference, a year of change for you, and I really hope that you will begin to see breakthrough in 2022 with no excuses. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And last but not least, would you be so kind to hit the like and subscribe button so we can keep you motivated, and it's going to mean the world to me. Thank you so much once again for taking the time to watch our video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.